Barnes today, I assume.
No Barnes, he won't play tomorrow. He said he's feeling better, so that's a good sign. He was shooting around, so it's the first time he's really done anything on the court.
You change your mind at all about playing or not playing guys?
Andre and Draymond will rest tomorrow.
What went into that decision?
Andre just doesn't make sense to play him. He's in a good groove, and he could use a day off. And what I've found with Draymond is if the game is meaningless, then so is Draymond. I'm kidding. No, Draymond needs some stakes. He needs the competition. He needs the game to be meaningful. I thought last night, there just wasn't enough competitive fire in the game itself to bring the most out of Draymond. I'd rather give him the night off. He agrees. When there's something at stake, there's no better competitor in the game. When the game is like it was last night, what it'll be like tomorrow. I actually worry about some guys because they're not in the flow of things. They're not in the mix. I'd rather just sit them both out and play our younger guys.
He still got a technical last night.
He did. Yeah, he was trying to get himself going, and he told me, I was just trying to do anything I could to get myself going, but he didn't have it, and he knew it. He admitted it. And, great thing with Draymond is he's going to have it game one in the playoffs, and that's what matters.
You had 15 technicals this year. How many of those do you think just a normal player would have gotten, or do you think Draymond they just watch him closer?
I think they watch him. He's definitely earned plenty of them, but I think they keep an eye on him a little bit closer than most guys. But that goes along with how this league works, especially for Draymond being in the playoffs, being in the public eye. It's all nationally televised. Everything is under a microscope for him, so he's got to be a little careful.
You mentioned a couple games ago when you rested Draymond. Is it something you see on paper? Is it charts? I know you talked about conversations with the training staff as well, but are there actual documents and printouts?
There's information that the training staff has from sport view cameras in terms of load, recovery, mileage, run, all that stuff. And then there's a case like today where just watching the tape, it's like Draymond's not into it. This is counterproductive for him to be out there. Let's get back and do some minutes. It'd be better for everybody just to give him a day off, and he'll be fresh and ready to go for game one.
I know you don't regret here, but how much of a factor do you think fatigue played in the playoffs for you guys?
I really don't. I don't think it played. I think Steph's injury played a factor. Can you make a case that going for 73 affected Steph? It's hard to make that case because he averaged 33 minutes a game. He had a phenomenal season all the way through. Last game of the year, he made about 8 threes. I couldn't have imagined him being in a better place going into the playoffs, and then game one he gets hurt. So it's hard to predict all that stuff. But with all that said, we were right there at the end, and if we finish it off against Cleveland, nobody's talking about that, but it's a valid thing to discuss because we lost. But I don't think that was a factor.
The fact that you guys have already had it this season, did that help if something like that happened?
I guess so. Every guy is different. It's, when you lose one guy, it's very different from losing another guy. And so if KD were to get injured, at least we'd have a feel for exactly the rotations that we wanted and that kind of stuff. But if it was Draymond or Steph, knock on wood here, but then you have to adapt and adjust. It's not easy to do on the fly, especially in the playoffs.
It's kind of an interesting point in his career. He's your only star without a ring. Obviously, everything that's led up to this moment in his career. Where do you feel like his mind's at entering the playoffs, knowing the pressure, at least externally, that's going to be kind of thrust at him?
Kevin's in a good place. I mean, he's the first one to tell you that he didn't make this move just to win a ring. It's not like that's the end-all, be-all. Obviously, that's the goal, and that's what everybody wants. But he's really happy with his move, and he likes living in the Bay Area. He likes playing here. And, our whole thing as a team is we want to keep giving ourselves a chance year after year, and we know that things happen. You can't control it. You just do your best and see what happens. So that's all we're going to do. We got another swing at the plate. We're in a great position. Hopefully we stay healthy and make a good run. But who the hell knows?
Because before he got here, there's probably going to be a lot of people that maybe want him not only to just contribute to a title team, but they need him. They want to see him start. Do you have to kind of ease expectations of them? Like, hey, you don't have to go out and show.
I don't really need to say anything because that's been our motto all year. Strength in numbers, just playing together. Everybody from one night to the next, chipping in, maybe starring one night, maybe being a role guy the next. And KD's always, I think, been that way as a player. Like, just does whatever's needed. He's had games this year where he took 7 or 8 shots and didn't care. So I think he enjoys the process and keep the process going.
Back here to a practice. I see one of the last ones here. Cal women's coaches last week. Do you enjoy the? Do you take? Do you appreciate the fact that all these people want to come see the Warriors? Bring their.
I like having people in here. The coaches want it, empty and quiet. I don't mind people coming in and doing it, whether it's kids who, from Make-A-Wish Foundation or soccer stars or baseball stars. We're still going to get our work in, and it's kind of fun to meet the two.
Is there a sense of Draymond plays at his best when he's on the edge, and how much is David helping him the rest of his group? Just kind of being that veteran voice, maybe in his ear, or maybe keep him from going over the boiling.
David's been great. He's provided so much leadership, and in particular for Draymond, he's just a voice of reason. Draymond has so much respect for David, knowing what David has done in his career. And so there have been times where Draymond's gotten pretty emotional, and David has taken him aside and calmed him down. Much more valuable than anything I could say or any of the coaches would say. So it's huge having David here.
How much wiser is based on what happened?
I think he's made huge strides this year. I think his leadership has grown. He knows, picks his spots now, when to talk, when to back off, which makes his words more valuable, more effective. And I just think he's gotten wiser. I think maybe fatherhood helps a little bit too, and just experience and going through what he's been through in his young career. So he's really come around.
Is there a sense of needing to play for stakes, but is there a restlessness to get back to that point, or are you stressing to value this
to get
time
back
off?
to which point?
To where you're playing for stakes again.
Oh, you mean just to get to game 1 of the playoffs? I think we've been restless the last week. Once we secured the 1 seed, I think that win in San Antonio was sort of the apex of our recent stretch when we won. I guess it was 14 in a row, but I don't know what number that was, maybe 11. After that, we had 3 wins that we didn't play that well. I feel like we've kind of let our guard down a little bit, and it's kind of human nature. These games right now are meaningless, basically. So we are anxious to get to the playoffs.
How helpful is it? A week in advance. Normally, maybe you'd still be kind of wondering.
Yeah, except that we don't know if Nurkic is going to play, but we're preparing for them, either with him or without him. But they're very different without him, so it's a little trickier.
Just smaller, play smaller. Is that the big difference?
Well, they do a lot of different things with him. When he's out on the floor, they run a lot of their offense through him as a passer. And when he's not out there, it's the same stuff we've seen the last couple of years, all the flares and high screens, and they're tough to guard no matter what. But Nurkic adds a different wrinkle.